just more and more. War Machine.
You will understand when you get older. Trust me.
War Machine 300 gifted 5 memberships. Thank you. And Mark of Reality with $50. Says 2024 sucked, except for the end. We had a big win, but that's the beginning of the real fight for America and the world. Elon seems to be a rookie at this keyboard warrior stuff with his fake MAGA, AstroTurfed MAGA infighting. Yeah, I keep hearing about all this stuff going on with Elon. I've largely ignored it because I just don't feel like fighting with retards on Twitter. And that's all people do on Twitter most of the time, and I just don't take part in it.
I don't know how people have the time for it. I really don't.
Well, when you get paid for doing it, it's pretty enjoyable.
Yeah, but the amount of money, at least the amount of money that I've made on Twitter doesn't make it worth it.
Well, on the one side of things, as far as like,
I got one good payday on Twitter, and that was a couple weeks ago. I posted, I made like $1,000, and I'm pretty sure it's
was
from
that a post that Miles Morales is Miles Morales?
No, it came from that big titty goth chick thing that I reposted.
I usually make more than I'm paying.
Somebody made a video of Lady Demetru coming out of like a thing, but they modded her boobs and her butt to be humongous, and she walks out of like this cupboard. That got like a couple million views. And that, I think that's what got me that $1,000 is that post.
Let's
but other than that, it's usually like $100, something like that, which is nice, you know. But
I mean, you just see people
arguing
arguing like in threads back and forth, and I just can't imagine the time.
I can't imagine that paying much because no one interacts with it. It's your main posts that get interaction, and that's where the pay rate comes from.
Right? Like people argue in the comments down below, right? Where nobody actually reads them except for whoever you're arguing with.
Oh, yeah. So I just don't see a lot of interaction there.
Anyway, like I don't believe any of the rumors about Elon trying to take over the presidency or whatever I'm hearing. Like I'm very much on the outskirts of all of this news, but like I hear trickles and I see trickles, and it's just like, what's going on? They actually called it. They actually called it like when the election happened. They were saying how there's going to be this infighting, and now that they're coming out with these rumors,
there always is
infighting.
That was what I was gonna bring up. Is look, I said the same thing a long time ago. I said eventually there is going to be factions because you have the conservative right, you have the medium right, and the more liberal right. Right, like that's kind of what happened now. Since the left has left so many people in the dust, and they have leaned into the right now, instead of us having, you know, quite a few blue people, quite a few red people, but most of the country being mostly purple, or the world being mostly purple, kind of a mix of both. Now you've got a lot more red. We saw the the map this last time, and the reason that is because the left so many people that they have no other choice than to vote that way. But when it comes down to it, are they going to agree with like the hardcore Bible thumping conservatives? No. That's why they voted Democrat for so many goddamn years. Yeah. You know, like there's going to be some sort of infighting here and there. Now, on the big issues, we're all going to agree on a lot of that stuff. When it boils down to, it's all going to come down to politics at the end of the day. And this is why I've always said the three things you never talk about with people you don't know are politics, religion, and sports, because they're always going to lead to an argument, no matter what.
I came across
sectarianism is probably unavoidable at this point because there are a lot of serious disagreements on points of policy and principle, particularly as you mentioned, with the very religious right that is going to be rubbing up against the live and let live ideology of most of us.
Oh, there's Mr. Burger. It's a $275.
Wow. When you ship it, it's still going to cost close to.
Well, when you buy me one, it's pretty much $500.
I've never had it. I've never even had $100 bottle of bourbon, let alone $275. Well, I would like to try it.
And Arch is right, because there's there's a faction of that very conservative religious sect that does not believe in gay marriage, does not believe in homosexuality, period, doesn't believe in sex before marriage, doesn't believe in contraception. I mean, yes, there's going to be a run in here where certain things are going to be like, hold on, time out. some people are going to be like, we don't all follow the same ideals. That's kind of the whole point here. We were trying to avoid a group of people that were following all the same ideals.
Well, yeah,
right? Like,
that's
that
kind
was the
of
issue.
one of the issues is also is that there is more discourse actually encouraged within the right now. So people are going out and hashing it out left and right, you're back and forth. Whereas on the left, you're kind of just expected to rigidly fall in line and just do whatever the party line tells you because they're afraid of being called a bad person.
The biggest thing that I've seen people arguing about, and like I don't know, I haven't really followed this whole story, but people are now mad about work visas.
H-1Bs.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't have a problem with work visas or legal immigration. What I don't like is the open border bullshit.
The problem with H-1B visas is that they're being very much so abused. So the purpose of an H-1B visa is to allow people with like very high degrees of specialized skills, like at the very least bachelor's and above. Now, a bachelor today isn't that special, but the idea was to bring in the best and the brightest, and it was supposed to be limited to 80,000 applicants per year, which is entirely reasonable. In reality, it's more along the lines of, I think in 2023, it was 386,000 people. And these are overwhelmingly Indians working in the tech industry for dirt cheap. Basically, we're taking all of those Indian call centers and we're bringing them to America.
Yeah.
Probably a lot cheaper.
So when they say they're in America, it's actually true.
Kind of, yeah.
Well, and a lot of what Trump ran on was immigration, so that's why it's a hot topic. And I know some people are saying, but I'm using the extreme topics in my point because, like, the things that they're actually disagreeing with, and this is the other thing is there's left media and a lot of people.
I don't see a lot of people arguing about.
I was just gonna say, no, they're not. They're not yet. That was my point. I was using extreme examples, but what you have is the left pushing this idea that the right is arguing right now. When I don't see so much disagreement as I see nuanced conversation.
I think most people don't care what gay people do as long as they don't f with kids.
I know that's
kind of.
I know you're missing my
point.
Never mind.
I don't give what people do in their bedroom as long as they don't.
I wasn't saying they were fighting at this point. I was using that as one of the extreme examples that it will eventually boil down to. I think Arch knows where I'm coming from. Like right now, I think the right is having a more nuanced conversation about immigration and certain other things, and the leftist media is trying to spin it as, oh, they're fighting. The infighting has begun.
I mean, that's always going to happen, right? It's like the joke about libertarians. They're not libertarians unless they're all fighting with each other about who is the biggest one of them all. It's just going to keep happening because they disagree and they like having spirited discussions on politics. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and this is unavoidable. Like we mentioned how we view the left as like a unified entity. This too is not the case. Like just within Marxism, you've got ecological Marxism, which believe that plants will grow anywhere so long as they are treated like comrades. I don't shit you. That is a thing they do. Or you've got Tanky, Stalinists, or you have Leninists, or you have Trotskyists, etc., etc., etc. Like factions are unavoidable.
Yep.
Always going to happen, and it's annoying every time. It's like, hey, we're stomping everybody and getting these wins all over the place. Let's fight. Let's fight with each other right now.
Look at all the advancements I'm making. We're winning too much. Time to stop.
It's time to fight each other.
The Republicans are fantastic at, killing it for themselves, absolutely destroying it when they're actually ahead. Yep, every time.
Every time. It's so annoying. And, you don't really see much of this with the left because
they all fall in line.
Just disintegrate you if you don't fall in line.
Yep.
Anyway, we got a super chat here from Nolan for $100. It's a Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year's. Let me get
Hollow Verbal Riot. How are you, sir?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good, dude.
Ladies and gents.
Have you got your shot ready, Flash?
I'm getting it ready right now.
Yeah. See, that's prior preparation prevents piss poor performance. It's the 6 Ps.
Cheers, Nolan. Cheers to you, Nolan.
Oh, shush you.
Ooh.
Woo! Yeah. Happy New Year.
See, if it was that $300 bottle of bourbon, it wouldn't burn.
Yeah.
That's not true.
I've never had
that is not true, my friend.
bourbon,
It'd
so
still
I don't
burn,
know.
but it'd go down smoother.
It'll go down smoother, but it'll still burn.
Yeah, I'm used to drinking Captain Morgan has like the refined pirate, and then you have Captain Admiral on the bottom shelf, and he's like in a tiki boat. That's what I'm used to drinking.
Captain Morgan's great. I love
There
it.
is very, very few rums in the world, man, that you could drink straight up, and Morgan's is not one of those at all.
Oh man, there's so much. Remember when you were young, drinking all that bottom shelf shit?
Oh, dude,
I know you
schnapps.
did. Oh,
That's all we drank was schnapps in high school.
yeah, schnapps, man. It's fucking like drinking lighter fluid.
Oh, we did you guys have Cougar? We had Cougar bourbon. Cougar.
No, we didn't have that
I
one.
don't think so.
No. That's what I
Hey,
drank.
Shadow Humor, I love you too, brother. Says Yellow, much love, broski. Thank you.
Dude, schnapps was like a fine liquor, man, compared to like the malt liquor we had to drink in the hood.
By the way, do you guys remember this?
We have new
Yeah.
information now. Also on the
know.
plane crash, KTVU has just learned the names of the 4 pilots who were on board the flight. They are Captain Sum Ting Wong, Wee Tu Lo, Ho Li Fook, and Bang Ding Ao. And the NTSB has confirmed
The
these
fact
are
that
the
they
names
put
of the
that to
pilots
air.
on board Flight 214
Wait,
when it
this happened?
crashed.
Yeah.
I'll
this is
never
a real
forget that.
report.
It never gets old.
It never gets old.
Wow.
Somebody called it in and they reported that. Like
This
Dude,
is
the
a
le-
clip.
something Wong.
So here's another classic banger.
Oh,
I don't know
this
if
is
you guys have
classic.
seen this one, this IQ test.
Mm-hmm.
You got this snobby bitch try to put this guy down because he's a Marine.
I'm 21. I'm a high school graduate, and I work in the Marine Corps.
I'm 30 years old. I have my PhD in cancer biology, and I work in a biotech industry. Grad school, I went to University of South Carolina, and undergrad, I went to University of Florida. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Notice that she gives the Asian kid the one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
she's
herself
not-
the second.
She doesn't live in stereotypes at all.
6. 2, me, I don't know, PhD, cancer biology scientist. I work in a biotech company. We make COVID-19 testing kits, stuff like that.
Word.
6. It has nothing to do with your background. I don't
course
think
it
you
does.
really have the highest EQ out of all of us. Tyler, he ranked last for me personally
even say
because the
IQ
way he
properly,
carries
EQ.
himself. He was ranking intelligence based on his point of view and not taking in other people's point of views.
So number 1 is Raymond. Number 2 would be Haley. Number 3 will be Tyler. And number 4 would be Shada. Number 5 is Sean. And number 6 is Maria.
Dead last. She was feeling really stupid there too, which was great.
All that schooling.
Yeah.
All
Oh my
the
God, I'm this and
PhDs.
that. No,
Yeah.
I'm a PhD. Oh God. Oh my God.
Classic.
David T. Git for 20 says the problem with HBs is that they get treated like wage slaves and paid 20 to 40% below the prevailing wage. They cannot look for better pay due to them needing to keep the H-1B visa. Big tech companies use H-1Bs to drive down pay. Now
That is correct as well.
That's a real issue then. Absolutely.
Because it will be used to replace American workers, because these are not stupid people. These are educated individuals that are brought over on a visa, getting far better paid than they would in India. And again, if they get fired, it's straight back home to shitting in the streets again. So it's not quite modern slavery, but it's not that far from.
Yep.
You know, you're
Look, man,
sharing all of this,
Vivek
like-
wasn't totally wrong in what he was saying. I just think in the way that he said it, it was completely wrong.
What do you mean? Like you're saying that you don't think he had the wrong idea, but he
Look,
just phrased it improperly?
Exactly. Like, I think he's
Yeah.
right on one thing. I think, you know, if we think about the generation, at least before me, I'm Gen X. So the Gen X, so before even millennial, we had a whole generation that was raised on participation trophies and being told there were no winners or losers, right? While in other countries, man, they stayed competitive. So, yeah, of course, in other countries, they're probably going to have better employees, or at least smarter, because they kept that competitive edge about themselves. Whereas, you know, as Americans, we did get a little bit lazy. But my thing is, he wasn't completely wrong. I just think his messaging was, it came off very accusatory.
Yeah.
Poor optics.
It came off very accusatory. It came off very, and that's why I think the infighting is happening. Because if he would have said, America used to be great at what we used to do. If America used to be great, we used to be hard workers, we used to be this and that, and we're going to get back to that. That's a more positive message, right? But the way he worded everything sounded like, you guys are all lazy. That's why you're getting replaced by these people overseas, and that's the way it came off.
Yeah.
But is there actual? My question is there actual infighting, or is it just?
I mean, on social media.
There definitely are some lines being drawn, largely religious, as far as I've seen initially.
But enough to hurt the party, you think?
I'm not so sure about that. Then again, America is a fairly religious nation, so.
Flash, what are you doing? My eyes.
Why would you show me that again? That's
Madonna.
Evil.
What happened?
Wait, is that Madonna?
That's Madonna.
What's left of her corpse.
You don't remember
yes.
this?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
No, you have to see the video. Have you ever seen the video where she's in a cast and she falls over on stage? It's even worse.
You see, she's got like a cord attached to her.
Yeah,
it's probably right on the main stage, so she doesn't.
I feel ashamed.
She doesn't want to fall down from one step because she's so old.
I feel ashamed I ever rubbed them out to her videos, man. Back in the day,
she used to be really hot. And
she used to be hot back in the day, man. Hey, when I was in seventh grade, she was hot.
The problem is she tries to fight getting old, and when these people fight it, they end up looking like fake alien people. Like she looks like an alien human hybrid.
Unless you're Lindsay Lohan.
Remember
She
the old
looks great.
YouTube video thumbnails where they'd have like human alien hybrids and like tubes
Yep.
and shit? That's what came out of those tubes right there.
What am I looking at?
A recent
Alien.
Madonna concert.
Yep.
Oh, this is sad.
What is it?
DB Wild for $100.
That's another shot.
Here's to y'all and shift into a better year to come. Happy New Year, Flash, Rhino, Tom, Anna. Congrats on the baby. Brett,
you.
Arch,
Oh,
Verbal,
thanks.
and everyone in the chat. Much love to you folks. Now drink.
The way it sounded was that you were congratulating me, Flash, Tom, and Anna on the baby.
They all help.
It was a group effort.
I was just about to say I didn't know that we were the daddies.
Yeah.
No, you guys were like my emotional support dogs.
Yeah.
My emotional support friends.
Do I get a little
I
harness?
spilled a fucking drink.
Sure.
Cheers.
Cheers, DB Wild. This is for you.
Oh, the second one went down smoother.
Yeah.
Wait, what are you drinking, Rhino?
Wild turkey.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man. What are you doing, dude?
Why?
Shots of turkey. I could get vodka. I've got that in the freezer.
I'm doing just Jack Daniels.
You're hardcore, man.
And then I'm chasing it with wild turkey and Coke.
The main thing is like a beer, so unless we
No.
get like
Weak.
unless we get like $8 more $100, I should be okay.
Weak.
Then we would
Why?
get a kazoo stream.
Why are we still seeing
I didn't-
Madonna do
yeah,
this
I
scary,
didn't eat as much as I
scary
did
thing?
that one time.
The more you watch it, the scarier it gets. Like that face.
Wow.
It is horrifying.
All right, I took it away. I was just trying to lighten the mood.
By the way,